Let me tell y'all something. Now, ladies, and some of y'all fellas too, every time that phone don't ring, every time that text don't come through, y'all out here about to have a meltdown, talking about, should I block him? Should I call him? Should I text one more time with just a period? See if he... Notice, hey man, stop. Let me save you some time and therapy bills. Don't block him. Don't beg. Just do this. And watch what happens. When someone pulls away, goes silent, or stops showing up in your life the way they used to, the first instinct for most people is panic. You start replaying everything in your head. What did I do wrong? Should I text again? Should I block them to protect my peace? That mental loop is exhausting, and it keeps you trapped in a cycle that's centered on someone else's actions instead of your own power. But here's the truth. Your healing, your progress, and your future have nothing to do with someone else's inconsistent behavior. They have everything to do with what you decide to focus on next, and that focus should be *U*. See, the most valuable thing you can do when someone starts pulling back isn't to react, it's to reflect, not on them, but on yourself. This isn't about chasing, proving, or begging. This is about transforming. When you take all that emotional energy you've been spending on trying to keep someone in your life and redirect it toward building yourself up, you start to gain something much more powerful than attention. You gain self-respect, you gain clarity, and eventually you gain peace. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean pretending like you don't care or ignoring your emotions. It means honoring them without letting them control you. It means waking up and choosing to pour into your own life every single day, even when it hurts. Because healing isn't passive. It's not just sitting around waiting for time to do the work. Healing is active. It's choosing to show up for yourself when nobody else does. It's going to the gym, reading the book, starting the business, drinking the water, going to therapy, taking the risk doing the work . When you start putting yourself first, you'll begin to realize just how much you were settling. You'll see that your worth was never tied to their attention, that your value doesn't decrease just because someone failed to appreciate it. You'll start to build confidence. Not from validation, but from consistency. You'll see that the more you invest in yourself, the less you tolerate anything or anyone that costs you your peace. And here's the magic part. When you focus on yourself, everything else starts to shift. People start to notice. Opportunities begin to show up, not because you were begging for them, but because you created space for better things by letting go of what wasn't meant for you. You stopped trying to force someone to choose you, and instead, you chose yourself. That's where real power lies. So no, don't block him out of spite. Don't beg him to stay. Just turn that focus inward, work on you, level up in silence. And one day you'll look back and thank yourself for not chasing anyone who couldn't see your worth, because you finally decided to see it for yourself. Stop trying to convince people of your worth. That's the heart of it. When someone is unsure about you, when they're inconsistent with their attention or affection, you don't need to explain yourself over and over. You don't need to perform, prove, or plead for a place in their life. That's not love, that's desperation. And you were never meant to live in desperation. You were meant to stand in value. Every time you chase someone who's pulling away, you're teaching them how to treat you. You're showing them that they can give less and still have you right there, waiting. But you weren't born to be an option. You were born to be a standard, and standards don't chase. Standards elevate. The real power move in life isn't trying to make people see your value. It's becoming so undeniable that they either rise to meet you or get left behind. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. Because when you elevate yourself, You automatically eliminate anything and anyone that isn't aligned with your growth. And let's be clear, elevating isn't about showing off. It's not about flaunting your success on social media or trying to make someone jealous. That's still rooted in seeking their attention. True elevation is quiet. It's private. It happens when you decide to wake up every morning and work on yourself for you, not for applause. It happens when you stop waiting for closure and start creating your own healing. When you stop waiting for someone to value you and start becoming someone who knows their value no matter who walks in or out. When you operate at a higher level, emotionally, spiritually, professionally, you naturally stop entertaining what drains you. You stop responding to breadcrumbs. You stop shrinking yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. Because you know what happens when you keep chasing people who are unsure about you. You keep losing yourself. But when you elevate, you reconnect with yourself. You remember who you are. You move with purpose, not with panic. And ironically, that's when everything starts to shift. The same people who were unsure start watching. The same people who didn't appreciate you might try to come back. But by that point, you'll be so focused on your own growth that their attention won't impress you anymore. You'll have leveled up beyond their reach, not out of spite, but out of progress. So stop trying to explain your worth. Stop trying to convince someone to see what's already valuable. You don't need a co-signer on your greatness. You just need to own it, because the right people won't need to be convinced. They'll recognize you, they'll respect you, and they'll match your energy. Until then, don't chase, don't beg, elevate. Focus on becoming the person you were always meant to be, and let everything else fall into place. Too many people fall in love with potential. They see the glimpses of who someone could be, not who they're actually showing up as in the present. You hear it all the time. He has a good heart, or she just needs time to grow. And while it's beautiful to believe in someone's ability to evolve, there's a fine line between support and self-betrayal. You have to ask yourself, how long am I willing to wait for someone to become who I need when they're showing me every day that they're not there yet? Potential is not a promise, it's a possibility. It's something that might happen, but it's not something you can build a relationship or a future on. What you see in your head, the version of them that communicates better, that shows up, that finally commits, is often a fantasy you've constructed based on hope, not reality. And the longer you hold onto that fantasy, the more disconnected you become from your own needs. What matters most is how someone treats you today. Not the version of them that shows up every once in a while to keep you hanging on, but the consistent version, the one that's there when it's inconvenient, when it's uncomfortable, when real life kicks in. Are they respectful? Are they reliable? Do they honor your boundaries? Do they make you feel seen and safe? If the answer is no, then their potential is irrelevant. You cannot afford to keep making excuses for inconsistent behavior just because you believe in who they might become. The danger of falling for potential is that you start shrinking yourself to fit into a waiting room. You delay your own growth, your own happiness, because you're hoping they'll catch up. But what if they never do? What if they stay the same? What if they're content with giving you crumbs while you're starving for connection, consistency, and commitment? At some point, you have to realize that your loyalty to someone's potential might be costing you your peace. Love isn't about fixing people. It's not your job to mold someone into who you need them to be. Real love is built on mutual effort, shared values, and consistent action. If someone isn't willing to show up and do the work now when will they? Hoping they'll change after a wake-up call or after just one more chance is a risky bet that usually ends in disappointment. You deserve someone who is already ready, someone who doesn't make you question your worth or wait for their timing. Someone who's not just talking about who they want to be, but actively becoming that person every day. Stop romanticizing red flags just because you see their potential. Love yourself enough to choose reality over fantasy. Choose peace over potential. Because the right person won't just have potential. They'll be living it, and they'll choose you fully and consistently without you having to beg for it. When you stop chasing people and start chasing purpose, everything in your life begins to align in a way that feels natural, peaceful, and powerful. The constant anxiety that comes from wondering why someone isn't calling, texting, or showing up fades away because your attention shifts from them to you. And not just you in a surface level way, but you in your highest, most intentional form. You stop asking, why don't they want me? And start asking, what am I meant to be building right now? Chasing people is exhausting because it puts your happiness in someone else's hands. You become reactive, waiting on a message, a compliment, a breadcrumb of attention to validate that you're enough. But chasing purpose puts the power back in your hands. Suddenly, your days are about more than relationships or attention. They're about creating something meaningful. Whether it's pursuing a career goal, improving your mental health, learning something new, or building a life you're proud of, purpose gives you direction. It gives your life why. And when you have that, you stop needing someone else to give you a reason to feel worthy. That's where the shift happens. When your energy is focused on building, on healing, on growing, your frequency changes, you move differently, you speak with more confidence, you carry yourself with a quiet kind of strength. And without even trying, you begin to attract people and opportunities that are aligned with that higher version of you. Not because you begged for them, not because you chased them, but because you created space for them by walking away from what wasn't meant for you. You begin to realize that chasing people never brought you peace, only temporary highs followed by emotional crashes, but chasing purpose, that brings long-term fulfillment. It doesn't always feel exciting at first. Sometimes it feels lonely and the results don't come overnight, but it's real. It's rooted, and over time it produces something no person could ever give you, self, worth that doesn't waver. Purpose also gives you clarity. It helps you see who's really for you, because the more aligned you become with your purpose, the more obvious it is who's supporting you and who's draining you. People who don't respect your growth will naturally fall away. People who are meant to walk with you will rise to meet your level, and you won't have to force it, prove it, or chase it. It'll just fit. Most importantly, when you're walking in purpose, you're never truly alone. You're connected to something bigger than any one relationship. You're connected to your calling, and in that space you're whole. Not because someone else completes you, but because you've done the work to complete yourself. So stop chasing people who can't see your value. Stop waiting for someone to validate what you already know deep down. Chase purpose instead. Chase peace. Chase the version of you that doesn't need to beg, doesn't need to prove, and doesn't need to settle. Everything you're looking for will meet you there.